girls and guys, it is Heather from ZaiLetsPlay, and we are back with another episode on the KaoshKraft server. And the fire wasn't me, I promise. If you guys remember, I built a tree farm a long time ago around that area over there. You could actually probably see them. Yeah, there you go. Well, I hate it now. I don't like it. I was looking around my base and I'm like, I'm happy with the way everything turned out except the tree farm. So I came up with a new idea, but I needed a quick, easy way to tear everything down, like all the trees around. And you know, it's kind of lazy, so I don't want to have to hit them all down. So I decided to start a fire, but don't worry, look, I'm prepared. I've got buckets of water, so if the fire spreads, I'm gonna be the best firefighter around. I'm gonna put the fires out. All right, so while all of that is burning, I'm gonna be working on the little area that is already cleared up. Creeper, stop it. Is there ever... Oh, I worked so hard to clear this area up and creepers gotta come and ruin it. Very rude, not nice at all. So while we're working on this, you guys are always asking me to talk about one thing and one thing only. I don't, because I don't think it's that interesting, or I kind of feel like I've already told stories here and there. Well, you guys are always asking me about my childhood. You're like, Sai, tell us some childhood stories. I guess part of the reason why I don't want to tell you guys is because I was secretly a very mischievous child. And I like to keep that mischievous side to myself. Oh my gosh, why are there so many mobs everywhere? It's like daytime. Go away. But yeah, so I'm going to tell you guys some stories, some good stories about when I, oh no, when I got myself in trouble and how I got myself out of trouble as well. I was very good at getting myself out of trouble. I must say, I was very excellent. That was one thing I was superbulous at. And I think my sister secretly hated it because I always got her in trouble instead. First of all, me and my sister, when we were little, used to fight like crazy. And we used to fight, fight. Like, I used to pull her hair and stuff. I would say, now that I'm an adult and I can't get in trouble for it, I will say that I probably started like, I want to say like 80% of the fights. She knew how to push my buttons, but I think I started most of them. And then I would hit her first, but then when she would hit me, it would hurt a lot more because she was older than me. So I would start crying and then she'd be the one that got in trouble, not me. And that's exactly how I wanted it. It was perfect. Sometimes I would like slap my leg and be like, oh my gosh, Anai, why'd you hit me? And then people would get mad at her. I told you I was quite bad. But yeah, that happened quite a bit, not all the time that we used to fight and stuff. Other things were just like, as a kid, I was just dumb. I just did dumb things that were really stupid and that I would be too afraid to do nowadays. That's one thing that surprises me. For like, as crazy as I was as a kid, I'm so much more afraid of everything in life now. And I think that probably has to do with the fact that I learned my lessons as a child. Like now, I'm afraid of anything and everything. But back then, it was just like, I just wanted to do everything. I remember at my old house, one of the things that my cousins would always do when they came over, they were older than me, they would climb on top of the roof and stuff, because our roof was on the back of the house. The roof was flat. It wasn't pointy like that. It was just completely flat. So they would always go up there and stuff, and I was just never allowed. Like, our parents and stuff didn't really like when we did that, but they didn't really say anything about it either. So there was this one time I really wanted to do it, and they were like, no, Zai, you're gonna get us in trouble because we let you do it, blah 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 blah. But I was determined. By the way, at this time I was probably around like 5, so I probably shouldn't have been doing that. I tried to climb on there. I got past, like, we used to have like this water heater outside, so I climbed onto that. Oh, I climbed onto a banister from the stairs. Then I climbed onto the actual like water heater, and then right as I was about to climb onto the roof, my foot slipped, and I have no idea how I never managed to break a bone, but I didn't. Luckily, I was safe. I guess I have no idea how I didn't break bones. I always say this, but honestly, have no idea how I don't have broken bones. I probably have a broken skull though, because the amount of times I fell on my head is unreal. I'm not even being like exaggerating about it. I used to hit my head so much. I actually worry that I'm gonna have like brain damage, or like I'm gonna lose my memory when I'm old or something, because it was just my head was the thing I always landed on. Like no matter what I did, I just hit my head. I remember being on a balance beam one time while doing gymnastics, fell on my head. I was sitting on a hammock playing around, flipped backwards, hit my head on the concrete. That was just what I did. And there was this one time, I think I've told you guys this story about where I got my head stuck under the fence, but there was this one time where I got my head stuck under a car. So we were playing hide and seek. That was like one of my favorite things to play as a child, was hide and seek or freeze tag. And since I have so many cousins, it was always a lot of fun because there was so many people to play with. Like 10 people would be over and we'd all go hide and stuff. So one time I got this genius idea that I should hide under a car, because like, oh, nobody's gonna look under a car, I'll go hide under there. And I remember vividly one of my cousins saying to me, Saida, don't do it because you're gonna get stuck under there. And I am that person. If you tell me not to do something, it just makes me want to do it even more, which was not very good for a kid because they used it against me sometimes. So I decided to hide under there, and it wasn't like the car didn't work, it was just there. And I think my shirt got caught or something, but I started to panic because I couldn't get out. I thought I was gonna die, but I thought if I die, at least they're never gonna find me because it's the perfect hiding spot. Eventually I started crying because I was really scared, and then somebody came to help me. But I was just horrible, but in a good way, because everybody loved me. Like, and I think I was still, one thing that I kept from when I was a kid, I gotta go get a shovel, was that I was definitely always mouthy. Like, I'm very sarcastic, very just like, I push your buttons. And I was like that even with like my aunts and uncles. So they used to, like, whenever they had their friends over, they would always bring me around because I was like the one that they would always laugh at. It was like, my uncle, one time he painted the house, and he was like, and he knew how I was, so he specifically came up to me and said, Saida, don't write or paint on these walls, don't touch them with your hands because you're always dirty. Because I always loved playing in dirt. So as soon as he left, guess what I did? I wrote all over the walls, all over them. But when he saw me doing it, he tells me this even now, he's like, you just were so adorable, how could I get mad at you? I just left you alone. I couldn't get mad. All I could do was laugh. So to this day, they always like telling the story about how I drew on walls. And the thing about me that's funny is I never was that kid that drew on walls anyway, because some kids like to do it. To me, it was just, I don't know, just wasn't my thing to do, you know. But for some reason that day I decided that I would, you know, troll my uncle. And that's exactly what I was doing, because my uncle used to always mess with me. Like when I would walk by, not like in a mean way or anything like that, he would like try to trip me and stuff. And I think that was my way of getting back at him. I always have to get even, don't I? That's just how I am. All right, so let me go back. Did I make, oh, I thought I made another axe. I was gonna beat myself up. Did I really just do that? Oh my gosh, by the way, you guys, I'm sharing all these stories. I want you guys to share your stories as well about when you were a kid. But I wasn't always bad. Like, I think the thing about me and the reason why I got away with a lot of things is because I was always like a really sweet child as well. Like, I had my sweet side. Or my thing, though, I learned at a very young age that if I want to get away with anything in life is to cry. Like, in school, when I was a kid, I never got in trouble. I was like teacher's pet. Teachers absolutely loved me and stuff. I did all my work and I did it well and stuff. But there was a few times where like I did mean things to like other kids that used to mess with me. So all I would do is just cry. Like one time I said a bad word to some kid because they kept bugging me about something. I don't even remember what it was. And I remember I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. He was just so mean to me. And I started crying. And it's like, you can't say no to a kid when they cry. It's just not possible. Oh, I should have got torches as well. Dang it. All right, let's get some of these blocks around so we could get a better idea of what this actual tree place is going to look like. And then you guys could tell me if I should continue or not. So let's do this. Can I build a little one through here? Let's see. It's not wide enough, I don't think. Let's try. Yeah, we can. All right, so let's keep digging out here. So there's going to be a few paths. I wanted it to still look kind of natural. That's why we have these little paths and stuff. Ooh, can we fit one here? Oh, we can. Okay, perfect. Yes. I'll connect them in the end. Right now I just want to get an idea. So let's do this. Take all of this down. Perfect. There we go. I think that's why as well, like the reason why my mom never really got mad at me as much was because I did do really well in school and stuff. Even though, again, I knew how to push her buttons. I knew how to get away with things. I think that's the moral of the story. Because, like, for instance, my mom used to always try to get us to clean up after ourselves and stuff. And I hated cleaning. Like, now it's different. I don't mind it and stuff. But when I was a kid, I just hated making my bed, cleaning up my room, just despised it. So what I would do is I would do a really bad job. I would make my bed so bad. I would sweep my room so bad that my mom would just be like, oh, fine, I'll do it. Or I'll moan. I'll just be like, oh, I don't want to do this, Mom, please. And then she'd end up doing it for me. I'm starting to realize how conniving I was. I was bad. I was a lot worse than I thought. But it was all innocent. That's the one thing I think is key. Like, everything I did wasn't meant to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that. Unless it was my sister. Sometimes. Stop it, zombies. I need to go to sleep and get some torches because these zombies are going to keep bugging me throughout the whole entire episode. Let's go to sleep. And, oh my gosh, now there's skeletons showing up. Let's run away, please. Please. Yes. And that was also really helpful. Like, I think when I was really young, I was really close to my grandma. That was like the one person that adored me. So whenever I did get in trouble with my mom and stuff, I would go to my grandma's house and she lived right next door. I loved that, the fact that she lived so close to me, because she would just spoil me. Or if like I would run away to her house, I would tell my mom I was running away, but she always knew I was going to my grandma's house. Or if my grandma heard me crying outside, she'd be like, oh, my little changuita, come over here, because that's what she called me. And oh, let's see. What did I come here for? Okay, I need to go to sleep. That's what I came here for. I always forget things. So forgetful. See? It's the brain damage from falling so much. So I would always help her with stuff as well, though. She did spoil me, but my grandma always worked really hard and stuff, and she would work from her job home, and I would sit there with her, talking to her and helping her and stuff. And I think that's why my grandma liked me, because she knew deep down inside I was a really sweet person. It's just not everybody saw that. I was always just like looking for a fight, kind of. Not like a physical fight, but just like looking to push people's buttons, except my grandma, because she kind of low-key always scared me as well, because I knew how mean she could be. She could not mean, but like if you got on her nerve, she would get mad at you, and she'd probably get her chancla out to hit you or something. But I don't think my grandma ever hit me. I don't think she ever hit any of the grandkids. I don't think so. At least not me. I'm still her favorite now, I think. Like, every time my grandma sees me, she gives me like the best hugs in the world. Like, you know when somebody hugs you and it's just like a warm, loving hug? That's what it is. I think I made her like kids. I always say this to the other grandkids, because I was like the third grandchild, and I always say that I think I changed her mind on kids. Like, I just made her have a good time, you know? And she always talks about me and my funny stories of how I couldn't pronounce words properly, because apparently, like, when I first started speaking, you know, after being a baby and stuff, Spanish was the language I spoke. But for some reason, I had this really weird accent. I would say it to you guys, but being that not all of you guys speak Spanish, I don't really see the point. But I used to say like words wrong. Like, basically I would switch my letters around, and they love making fun of me up to this point. That's one thing about my family. They love bringing up like embarrassing stories where you're just like, please don't talk about it. I lived it once. I don't want to have to live it again. Is this part of the little thing? Oh, it is. Okay, let's take these leaves down. All right, so enough of the story. Let's actually look at what I need to do right now. So let's take these leaves down. So this is what I was thinking for the actual tree farm. So it'll attach to the path that we have down here. I'll decorate this area around. Like, I'll put some grass or something like that. Let's see how this will look. And then you guys could tell me in the comments down below what you guys think about it so far. If you like it, what you think I should change and stuff. If you don't like it, tell me what part you don't like, because it's not helpful to just say you don't like it, because then I don't know what you want me to change. So here's what I'm thinking. So you come down this path. This section right here will just be oak wood. So this level here, you see how it's like this area here will just be oak. Then we'll have a path leading down here, and then this will be birch trees. And since this a few holes I need to fit in, I'll add the rest like spruce, jungle, oak, and stuff like that. What do you guys think of that? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave me your childhood stories in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, if you guys have any topics for me that you want me to talk about in the next episode, you can leave that in the comments down below as well. I hope you guys had fun watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode on the KaoshKraft server. Bye!